Hello and welcome to Craft the Drafts Club by Club Coates Talent League season previews. Today's episode we're focusing on the Western Jets, which is certainly looking to be a year of excitement for the Western region. An exciting Collingwood father-son, a new coach at the helm, and off the back of a draft campaign that netted them two players in the national intake for the AFL. And to look over all of it with me is Craft the Draft analyst Jonty Ralsmith. Jonty, how are you?
Very good, Mitch. Looking forward to analysing the Jets.
Yeah, they'll be led by Christian Stagliano this season. Obviously, Trent Dennis-Lane departing for his role with GWS in what was another coaching change for the Jets, but they're still going to be brimming with plenty of excitement. And I think a lot of that stems from what we could see from Tom McGuane this year, Collingwood's father-son prospect, the son of Premiership Pie Mick McGuane. Prospect out of Keilor, who's played some senior footy as well under his father at Keilor, and looks to be one that will garner plenty of attention given not only his surname but the quality of talent he possesses.
Yeah, absolutely. I did a focus on him, which you can see on Zero Hanger's YouTube page. But essentially, the condensed version of that is that he's a ball-winning midfielder. He works really hard. He's really clean. And he's got the ability to almost make time stand still in traffic with the ability he's got to get out the front of stoppage and some of his other tricks about him. He's probably still a little bit lighter, so he'll look to put on a bit of strength this year. But yeah, he's really uber talented, and I think he'll be a real leader of that Western Jets on-ball brigade this year. Averaged the 26 disposals last year and played under 16s Vic Metro for the Jets for Vic Metro in 2023. So yeah, looking forward to seeing how he handles the responsibility that will naturally come with his top-aged campaign. And I think he's one that will push his name probably a little bit further up than where it currently sits at the moment, just based on the footy smarts and some of the other things that he does possess.
How do you see his ready-made attributes? Not that the Collingwood necessarily need a new midfielder under Craig McRae straight away, but we've seen him obviously already play for Keilor. He'll probably get a look at VFL level with Collingwood, having trained with them over the summer. Do you see him as someone who could be quite a quick impact player at the senior level come next year?
Yeah, he also spent the preseason training at the Pies as well. I think he's one that could play early, because as I touched on in that Zero Hanger introducing video on Tom McGuane, there's going to be a little bit of a list turnover at the Pies next year. Players like Tom Mitchell, Scott Pendlebury still side bottom. They all may not be there, but I do still see him as being a player that would start either on a wing or a half forward, and he's got the footy smarts and the nous to pick that up quite quickly, and I think we'll see that from him a little bit at the Jets this year as well, just to showcase that versatility. So yeah, I think he is one that with where the Pies list is at, he could play a little bit earlier than people would expect. We obviously saw that Jagger Smith, despite being a little bit lighter bodied, looked set to have a real impact this season before obviously the heartbreaking ACL injury. So those sort of players are capable of coming into the AFL and, earning a debut. We didn't get to see whether Jagger was able to impact, but I think there's a lot for Pies fans to be excited about in the short term from 2026 onwards with Tom McGuane, of course, should they choose to match a bid that's likely to come for him in the top 30.
And the Jets had two drafted last year, Luca Gregorio, Keaton Matafai Forbes. Don't hopefully, as all clubs do, look to beat the year prior and get a couple more drafted. And the Jets do have a trio of Vic Metro summer squad options. So Finn Davis and Tom Burton are the other ones that join McGuane in that squad. What do you see from those two from last year, and what are you hoping to see from them in 2025?
Yeah, Tom Burton's a player who probably played his best footy off halfback, or undoubtedly played his best footy off halfback for the Western Jets last year. I think he'll get some midfield time this year to allow him to maximise his influence on the game. But yeah, has a lot of pace, uses the ball really well, and sees the game quite early as well. He makes really sound decisions. So he's everything you want in a sort of offensive running halfback option. So looking forward to seeing what he can do. He's part of the AFL Academy as well, the sole Western Jet that is part of that AFL Academy. So we'll get to see how he goes against senior bodies, and wouldn't be surprised to then see him also play some VFL footy later in the year, but he'll also be mixing that in with some footy at Caulfield Grammar, where he'll be a real leader for them. They've got a strong lineup this year, and we'll speak a bit more about APS footy in some other videos in the weeks and months to come. But yeah, he's one that'll feature prominently for them. And then Finn Davis, another defender, a different sort of a defender, probably more of a balanced defender where he's a defend first sort of player, but then when he gets the ball in hand, he's able to use it quite well. He's pretty good aerially, and he is quite calm when the ball hits the ground and he's caught on the last line as well. He played under 16s Vic Metro. So yeah, he'll look to take the next step this year and will be fighting with probably a couple of Eastern Rangers in Xavier Taylor and Andrew Barker for 2 spots in that Vic Metro lineup, I'd say. But yeah, there's certainly some excitement about what he could produce in 2025 coming out of the Western region.
Who are some of the other top ages you're keen to see? Obviously, they can bat deep at times, the Jets, but it's usually quite top heavy. And one name to watch this year at the very least would be Kobe Williams, linked to Hawthorn as a father's son, as Mark Williams' son. But who else you kind of got your eye on for 2025?
Yeah, like you said, Kobe Williams has garnered a little bit of attention. I think the other couple to really keep an eye on are Oscar Ainsworth, who's a medium forward and showed some good signs in 2025. They had another forward last year who had some similar tricks in Jack Girardi, and he was able to kick some bags. So Oscar Ainsworth will hope to showcase that he's got some creativity in the front half of the ground. And then Rani Pavlidis as well. His brother Jalen Pavlidis is a Werribee listed player, played some VFL footy up at GWS as well after narrowly missing the 2022 draft, I believe. So another familiar name in the pipeline for the Western Jets, and has had a strong preseason as well.
What about the bottom ages? Obviously, they're home to under 16s Metro MVP Lockie Hicks, who's going to be one they'll certainly want to keep an eye on over the next 18 months. But on top of him, who else should we be looking at as 2026 prospects?
Yeah, I think, Lockie Hicks, like you said, he's clearly the headline actor of that crop. He's one who will likely get some midfield time this year. He's also got the capacity to play on the outside and uses the footy quite well. We saw that at the under-16s championship, certainly in the front half of the ground. He understands the forwards' leading lanes and delivers it on a platter for them. So I think we'll see that a little bit from him this year. Billy Wigmore's another one who is an under-16s Vic Metro representative and showed some positive signs. And then from an overage perspective, Taja Safiri returns after a hamstring injury interrupted 2024, and he'll play an important role as a lockdown sort of smaller defender and might even get a little bit higher up the ground as well.
Well, Sunday, March 30, we'll see the Western Jets open their 2025 Coates Talent League campaign. They're coming up against the Sandringham Dragons, the reigning premiers, and the side that knocked them out of the finals last year. So that's certainly going to be one to keep an eye on come the start of the season. Jonty, thanks again for rolling through everything that is to do with the Western Jets for this season.
No worries. Thanks, Mitch.
You can catch all of our other Coates Talent League club-by-club previews on Zero Hanger's YouTube page. And for all the latest news, views, and opinions relating to the draft, you can head to zerohanger.com.